What's up guys, and welcome to FPL Today. I'm your host JNO, welcome to the channel and welcome to my team for Game Week 20, where I go over how I did in Game Week 19, the moves I'm planning to make going into Game Week 20, and hopefully give you an insight into my thoughts and help you with your Fantasy Premier League rank. So let's get straight into the video, and we start off with our Game Week 19 performance, and it was another good game week for me as I have had quite a bit of success over the Christmas period with 90 points this game week and 74 points in Game Week 18, which has seen me rise in rank to 13,698th, a game week rank this game week of 126,530th, and now on a total of 1,203 points. The average points for the game week was 59 points, and we had some really big hitters this game week that really saw us have a great game week score in a game week where some people didn't do as well as they wanted, and also in a game week where lots of people went on Man United assets, and unless you went on Pogba, you probably were slightly disappointed. But I just didn't have the move available to bring in one of those Man United players that really made any sense right off the bat. So I decided to wait to see what would happen with that Man United Huddersfield game. And to be honest, I still came out of the game week looking pretty good. Now, unfortunately, the likes of Alonso still haven't returned decent points. Matthew Ryan again didn't get a clean sheet and now is off at the Asian Cup. Matt Doherty would have been better placed on the bench with Wan-Bissaka on the field, and the same with Leroy Sané. Again, Man City players not really turning up for people that owned them. Pereira would have been a better choice off the bench, and that would have had me over 100 points. But other than that, and other than Jimenez and Callum Wilson up front, we had some very big performances which pretty much carried us through this game week. But we will dive deeper into the performances over Game Week 19 so we can decide who we need to keep and who we need to move on. And we start off with the goalkeepers and defenders. So Matthew Ryan will cover quickly, 4.5 million. He has to leave the club now with the Asian Cup coming along. Points he managed to get free because of free save points. Minutes played, 90 minutes, no clean sheet, no bonus point. To be honest, Matthew Ryan was a great acquisition at the beginning, but it would have been better if I'd transferred him out after his run of clean sheets. But that's what we'll be moving on to do now. Marcus Alonso, 6.9 million, dropping in price. Andrew Robertson is getting very close to being the same price as Marcus Alonso with the way things are currently going. At the moment, Alonso really looks like he needs to step up in the next couple of game weeks. He does have some good fixtures though, so there are people hoping that he comes in with some attacking returns. And in this game, again, unlucky not to score with 3 attempts on goal, 1 from inside the box. None of his shots on target, which is disappointing, but he did have a big chance and 1 chance created. But that all totaled to 2 points from 90 minutes played, no clean sheet, no bonus points. So Marcus Alonso, very, very disappointing. Matt Doherty, 5.2 million, 2 points from 90 minutes played, no bonus points, no clean sheet. And he only created 1 chance. He didn't actually have much attacking threat against the Fulham side where you thought he probably would. So that was very disappointing. Would have been better choice to go with Wan-Bissaka, but hindsight is 2020. And then, of course, Lucas Digne, 5.1 million, 17 points from a defender that did not get a clean sheet. He managed to score 2 goals in the 90 minutes played with 3 bonus points. Penalty area touches, none, 2 attempts on goal, none from inside the box, but both were on target and 1 chance created. Great score from Lucas Digne. However, the underlying stats do suggest that this is unlikely to be a repeat performance this season. However, his free kicks look pretty damn epic. So looking at that, and also including Wan-Bissaka, who did return a clean sheet, right now the weakest link actually looks like Alonso and Matthew Ryan, of course, who will be moving on. So once Matthew Ryan has moved on, Marcus Alonso is actually the weakest link. Matt Doherty has been returning points quite consistently recently. Okay, 2 game weeks without, but Lucas Digne has had the underlying stats and has come in with a big haul. And Wan-Bissaka is Wan-Bissaka. I mean, if Wan-Bissaka leaves my side, I'd be very, very surprised. So defensively, it does look like Marcus Alonso would be the most likely to go. But with Crystal Palace, Southampton and Newcastle in the next 3, I just can't see myself transferring him out for Southampton and Newcastle at home, Game Week 21 and 22. So he's probably got a reprieve of 3 game weeks to really prove himself to me. I'm probably going to take a drop in team value for it, but there's just hoping, isn't there? There's just hoping. And while everyone else gets off, that seems to be a point when players start to score. So I'm going to stick with him for 3 more game weeks. Most likely. We move on to the midfield, and we'll start off with the player that didn't return in points, Leroy Sané. 2 points, 9.6 million, 90 minutes played, no bonus points. Now, again, no one was expecting Leicester City to beat Man City. It's 2 game weeks in a row now where everyone was surprised by the Man City result. It seems to all coincide with Fernandinho being out and being that important to the side. I mean, my money would be on it not continuing. I know a lot of people are looking at transferring out Man City assets. A lot of people disappointed with Sterling especially. However, I'm going to be a little bit more patient. This is Man City after all. All they need to do is return with a big haul somewhere with lots of goals and everyone will be wanting them back in. So I'm going to be patient with Leroy Sané while I see a lot of people jumping off their Man City assets, especially with Man United suddenly looking very good. Now look, he had 11 penalty area touches, 2 attempts on goal, 2 from inside the box, 1 on target, 1 chance created and 1 big chance created. But he also had a few situations where he almost created chances, except for good defending from Leicester City. And to be honest, there were a few times where I kind of wanted him to shoot instead of trying to assist. But he definitely looked like he still has the underlying stats to get me points in the FPL. But I can afford to be patient when I do have 3 midfielders who are really turning up with the FPL points. 40 points came from my midfield this game week with Heung, Mohamed Salah and Felipe Anderson all returning big hauls. We'll start off with Heung at 8.7 million. Now, I took a risk with him, knowing he'd be going to the Asian Cup around mid-January. However, I really like the way he's been playing. I was hoping he'd cover Harry Kane's points, which seems to be the case so far. And he managed to get 13 points from 87 minutes played, 2 goals, 1 bonus point with 4 penalty area touches, 2 attempts on goal, 1 from inside the box, 2 shots on target, 1 big chance and 1 chance created. Heung just looks really in form. That side look better when he is playing. And I am of the hope that Poch is going to keep using Son as much as possible with the knowledge that he's going to the Asian Cup. As soon as he's gone to the Asian Cup, I will then have to make a decision. It's either cover Kane's points by maybe upgrading to Dele Alli by that point. Hopefully Son has risen in price enough to do that. If not, then I've got the options of Man City players. It will be a bit difficult though not having a Spurs player with the form they're currently in. However, if I downgrade to a player like Lingard or someone cheaper than Son, Martial, then there's a chance that I could be able to upgrade to Harry Kane. So that is what we're doing with Heung. Then Mohamed Salah, 13.2 million, starting to rise in price, starting to have good performances. Straight after a lot of people transferred him out, which is pretty much FPL this season. 12 points from 90 minutes played, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 bonus point. 8 penalty area touches, 1 attempt on goal, which was from inside the box and on target, and was also a big chance. 2 chances created with 1 big chance created. Now, for me, the underlying stats aren't brilliant for this game, but the matter of the fact is he's returning points, and he looks like he's much more the player of last year than he did in the first 15 odd game weeks. And then Felipe Anderson, 7.3 million. A lot of people transferred him out, trying to get those Man United assets in. And anyone that transferred him out for Paul Pogba was probably very happy. But Felipe Anderson answered his critics that transferred him out with a 15-point haul, 90 minutes played, 2 goals and 3 bonus points from 5 penalty area touches, 2 attempts on goal, 3 from inside the box, 4 on target, 1 big chance and 2 chances created. Felipe Anderson just looks really good at the moment in a West Ham side that have the fixtures. Now, when those fixtures change, will he look as good? That is debatable. That might be the time to transfer him out. But I was happy with how he was doing, so didn't want to rush into a transfer. And he's repaid my faith with that 15-point haul. We then move on to the forwards, and this is where it gets a little bit more disappointing. In a game week where my defence managed to get me over 20 points, my midfield got me over 40, my forwards only actually managed to get me 12 points, with Jimenez and Wilson both not returning anything. Now, Jimenez I can forgive because he has been quite a consistent returner. 6.3 million, 2 points, 90 minutes played, 5 penalty area touches, 6 attempts on goal, 5 from inside the box, 2 on target, no big chances though. To be honest, he has the underlying stats where I hope he will continue to pop up with goals and be really good value for money for the price I at least got him at. Callum Wilson, on the other hand, Bournemouth have looked like they're struggling through a tough patch of fixtures. 6.9 million, 2 points from 66 minutes played, no bonus points, 3 penalty area touches, 1 chance created, no attempts on goal. That is very disappointing for a player of Callum Wilson's price and for a player that was in the form Callum Wilson was in. It could be that I go with no Bournemouth until the fixtures really turn in their favour again later in the season, which wasn't something I thought I'd actually be considering. And then Aubameyang, 11.5 million. He seems to be just about keeping up with Kane, 8 points from 90 minutes played, 1 goal, which he scored early on, 2 bonus points, penalty area touches 6, attempts on goal 4, 3 from inside the box, 3 on target and 2 big chances. So Aubameyang has done okay for me in the last 2 game weeks. There was of course that period where he just wasn't getting the points. For now I'm happy with him, but once Son is gone I may look towards getting Kane, and then it may be a factor of me just not having any Arsenal players, which is a slight worry because they are winning games, but I'm just not sure which Arsenal player I would want if it's not going to be Aubameyang. So we look at my Game Week 20 lineup, and the lineup at the moment has one glaring problem which will be rectified before the game week starts. That's Matthew Ryan. Now, unless I can fathom who is the starting goalkeeper at Brighton Hove Albion, which I probably won't do because then it leaves me with 2 £4 million goalkeepers, and then if I use that money elsewhere it's going to be difficult to change that when Ryan comes back. I will probably be looking for another 4.5 million goalkeeper to go in Ryan's place. I will then maybe, if I have the transfer spare, use the transfer to make sure I have the goalkeeper that is playing at Brighton Hove Albion on my bench. However, hopefully that is button and the transfer won't be needed. Then we've got Schindler, Alonso and Digne in the defence. Fulham away for Schindler, Crystal Palace for Alonso away, and then Digne, Brighton Hove Albion away. So all my defenders away, which isn't ideal, but Doherty has Spurs and Wan-Bissaka has Chelsea. So we'll see what happens there, but most likely if I make no transfers in my defence, that will be my back line, all of them away, hoping for some attacking returns from any of them to be fair, but Alonso would be nice. Then in midfield we have Southampton away for Leroy Sané, we have Mohamed Salah, Arsenal at home, which is probably one of the tougher fixtures for any of my players, but Mohamed Salah and Liverpool are in form. Wolves at home for Son, who has the captain's armband at the moment. Probably won't stay on him purely because I'm really worried that there will be some rest or rotation somewhere there. Felipe Anderson, Burnley away, which is a fixture I'm hoping Felipe Anderson returns another 15-point hauling. And then Pereira gets his first start. Shame I didn't start him last game week. Despite the fact he played Chelsea, he did return some points. But he's now got Newcastle at home. So hopefully that is a fixture Pereira can return in. And then we've got Jimenez and Aubameyang up front. Spurs for Jimenez, but it's either that or Callum Wilson away at Man United. I just feel like Jimenez is in the better form, but potentially Wilson might be more likely to score against the Man United side than Jimenez against the Spurs side. And then Aubameyang against Liverpool away. So my strikers actually don't have a very easy game week. So I might actually go midfield heavy and defence heavy in this one, maybe taking a risk on Wan-Bissaka getting a clean sheet or Doherty getting some returns. So we'll see what happens, but the major transfer I need to make without looking at a -4 to make 2 would be Matthew Ryan out. Now, the other areas of the side I'm currently looking at, Leroy Sané and Man City, they do need to do something eventually for me to keep faith with Leroy Sané, especially when there are other options around. I would like Eden Hazard in my side, but it's going to be very difficult to get Eden Hazard in with the current structure of my team. Matthew Alonso seems to be eating up a lot of the budget as far as regards to that. But then I would have no premium defender if I really went to save money with a transfer on Marcus Alonso. Right now, Salah, Son, Anderson and Pereira are all staying in the side, and they all probably have at least one game week where they cannot return, and for me to not waver on them because they have just done so well for me recently. The striker position, potentially a -4 there. Wilson to Ings to gain some cash with Ings looking in form. Of course, with them against Man City don't keep clean sheets anymore, so there is a chance Ings could get some points there. And then there's always the chance that if it benefits me, Pereira to Deulofeu just because of the budget could be a move I also consider. But right now it wouldn't surprise me if whichever one of the strikers I don't play, or both of them if I don't play both of them, one of them will score out of Wilson and Jimenez against sides where I didn't think they'd score. Anyway, guys, hopefully that has helped you out with your decisions going into Game Week 20. In the comments down below, please leave how you did this game week and also what transfers you're considering making. Also, check out all the various links in the description down below if you want to support the channel in any way. Also, make sure to subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button and hit that notification bell if you want to know when my videos go up or when I go live. And with all that being said, thank you so much for joining me today. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.